What's up, people? Now, deal and wait a few minutes. It's happening, Jesus saved. What's happening, Quentin? And wait a few minutes before I start the talking. I know I ain't been on here in a good minute. I know I barely go live. What's happening, Fade? What's happening, Terrence? Zert? What's happening? What's happening, Vincent? What's happening, Vicky? Peace to you, Quentin. Rising. We definitely rising. Jesus saved. So as y'all see the title of the video, you know what I mean? We finally about to see some changes, man. What's happening, ATM? Bradley, what's happening? Devin. But yeah, I went on live yesterday on my YouTube, basically talking about what I'm about to talk about now. It's how the way we about to start seeing some real changes since they decided to finally get rid of these nationwide injunctions. And y'all been watching me, I already explained to y'all, all they doing is just basically slowing down their fate. You know what I'm saying? They putting all kinds of roadblocks on the changes that's supposed to come anyways. You feel me? What's happening, April, Andre, Aaron, Cedar Post, what's happening, peoples? But yeah, we about to start seeing some changes. Now, people telling us we ain't seen no arrests, we ain't seen this, we ain't seen that. We about to start seeing some things. Like, I don't know if y'all heard how the way they're starting off, like right after they got the nationwide injunction out the way, then they announced they got 324 defendants in basically a healthcare fraud case, right? And they say it's up to 14, excuse me, $14.5 billion. You got to think about that. That's 324 people by itself stole $14.5 billion. And like I was telling y'all before, you know what I'm saying? Like all these systems is corrupt and they've been just committing fraud left and right. And most of them things like the first cases that come out with the healthcare, right? That's really the people that helped start the pandemic. You know what I mean? Like when the pandemic first started, all these people was in the hospital and they was basically like getting paid to put these people, you know what I'm saying? Everybody that died around there, you know what I'm saying? Like for instance, the flu disappeared, you know what I'm saying? But everyone that died was labeled having the C word, COVID. I'm not even gonna say it because y'all know how they be doing me. So anyways, everybody was labeled for that. They get kickbacks. And not only that, you know what I'm saying, they was told to put people on a certain regimen, you know what I'm saying, give them certain medicines, and then throw them on ventilators when they didn't even need it. You know what I'm saying? Make it seem like it's one thing when really it wasn't. They were literally getting kickbacks for offing people. You know what I mean? And that's just crazy. Like, if you think about how many people that actually died, that passed back then, and the start of the pandemic that made everybody scared enough to take the potion 19. Like I was told y'all on like my video history repeating itself. I mean, it's literally what they did. They did the exact same thing back in the past. They get us to do this. You know what I'm saying? We've been caught in the cycle. We're just now catching up to the cycle we've been caught in. So we didn't know they've been altering our DNA our whole lives. You know what I'm saying? Even before I was born, like this been going on for so long. But around my age, probably around like 30, 40 years ago is when they really got on a whole nother level, you know what I mean? Especially with the nanotechnologies and they mixing it all with the towers. Because as y'all know, during the pandemic too, they somehow these frequency towers popped up everywhere while they forced everybody to be at home while they was doing that. And you look now, everybody was getting them kick, you know what I'm saying, getting kickbacks for putting them towers up. Most of them got some kind of serious self disease now. You know what I'm saying? They only last a few years. And things about to get serious. But I might catch up on the chat real fast. What's happening? Antoine brought up. Rose, what's happening? Aaron, Alfonso, April, what's happening? Andre, Carlicia, ATM. But yeah, man, I got some things I got written down, man. You know what I'm saying? That I got to break down because it's basically everything I've been telling y'all for the longest. Like, it's about to all come down at once. Like I said, after nationwide injunctions is over, because it's not just the birthright citizenship that they're blocking. You know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of other stuff. A bunch of other stuff. All right, so we all know birthright citizenship. I always explain how the ways is completely different. It's different from what people think it is, and how do we always keep it simple? The people that's already been on this land is not even a citizen at all. You know, everyone else took the positions of the citizens when we supposed to be inserted into the system in a certain type of way with the quote unquote straw man, but they allow other people to use their straw man when really it's supposed to be actually be them. But you know, excuse me, I broke that down on a recent video I probably made a few days ago in much deeper detail. I like, you know what I'm saying? I like to show definitions and, you know what I'm saying, visuals in the background so you can understand it more instead of me just talking about it. Because if you ain't see it, you might be kind of lost. So I'm trying to speak things in a way so you won't be too lost. So you got birthright citizenship. So basically, to keep that simple, it's like when people they need to be registered, right? Like every time you register, like, all right, so Black Americans, we're not citizens, right? I I might be able to show. No, I'm not even gonna show it. They might violate the video, but I don't say I got paperwork saying I'm not a citizen. But you got to literally register your body to the state to be a citizen. Otherwise, you're not even a part of the system. People don't understand that we all think we all a part of the same system when we're not. When everyone that comes from a different country and comes over here, they're automatically a part of the system. Their body is registered. But if you already lived here, you never been registered. So it's like, and that goes into a deeper thing. Like for instance, the people that already lived here, we go by the law of the land, basically universal law, as in, you know what I'm saying, flat out robbery of, I'm saying, high value things or actually hurting somebody physically versus the policies. You know what I'm saying? There's law and policies, which is completely different. We're above the policies. But the people that move from other countries that live here now, they supposed to follow policies so they can never break the law because like they got a stricter, a tighter leash than what people of the land should have. But of course, like I said, that kind of is reverse. You know what I mean? They'll create situations. Like for instance, and it goes even deeper, like we have sheriffs and deputies. Not excuse me, we have deputies and police, right? People don't know there's a completely difference of deputies police, right? So deputies, they are elected officials. They have the power to arrest you. Then we have the police. They're quote unquote public service. I mean, excuse me, emergency service. But they are not elected. They literally have no power to arrest you. And imagine how many times you be getting arrested. So that means they be arresting people, right? So I want y'all to think about it like this. So the police officer, the policy is like, all right, the easy way to say the policy is the speed limit. The speed limit is a policy. It's really a suggested speed, but they turn it into policy. And then you got to imagine the people that's not citizens, which is us. You know what I'm saying? They target us on the street all the time to basically charge our Social Security trust account because we have all the credit. But of course, like I said, we don't know that neither. So it's like if we driving, how is it possible that they can pull you over and you know what I'm saying and arrest you? But this is when it gets deeper. You know when they pull you over and they try to escalate the situation, it's like they're trying to make a case against you, you know what I'm saying? And then gaslight you. You know what I'm saying? They can say whatever they want to say and then just say, oh, we got them recorded. You know what I'm saying? You can say one wrong thing, but they can lie to you 50 times, you know what I'm saying? That don't even make no sense. Anyways, so they pull you over and they try to escalate the situation to make it seem like it's a criminal offense so they can make a citizen's arrest. Go look at what a citizen's arrest is. Like that, what police officers do all the time because they can't, they have no power to arrest you. So it's almost like they're another person, a regular person, just like me. You see me on the streets, and I decide to arrest you. That's literally what they're doing. But if I wasn't wearing a uniform, you know what I'm saying, and a gun, you probably wouldn't listen to me. But then that's when you start to think about it. You say they're really security guards because they're supposed to protect the property, literally. And then the citizen is a property of the state. And then imagine they know that you're not a citizen. But it ain't that, you know what I'm saying? But they know they'll use things against you. Like if you was getting arrested or something, or you say something like you understand, that's the one thing they always ask you. So when you already stand over them, you put your standing below them. So they get you that way. Or they ask you to do something and then you do it. And then that means they have a higher standing to you because you're listening to them. Like they do all kinds of things that's like mixed with the universal law, but you don't know that. So then it's almost like you're saying you're giving them permission to do what they're about to do. And then you got another thing when you say, I'm a law-abiding citizen. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to say that because they know you're not a citizen. But then when you say you're a citizen, you're technically under their jurisdiction now. But like I said, the whole system is so rigged. Like I say, that the legal system is completely rigged. Because also, even though when we see in court how they get unfair treatment, you know what I'm saying? One person might go in here and get this amount of time, while another person barely get a slap on the wrist. But that's another thing, how the way they got the system so rigged because it's not a justful system. It's a just us system, like literally just us. And we ain't part of just us. Let me catch up on this chat. Misha Gentry, you said we definitely had a right to travel. Yep, that's the thing. Like it's so deep because like I said, they made us think we was part of the system that they made when we're supposed to be above the system. Like I say, y'all know about a straw man. We're the only ones that's supposed to have a straw man because we're not a citizen. So our Social Security will work as a citizen. Like that's our citizen. Like you know the way people, let's say business owners, right? They don't use their Social Security number. They'll use a EIN. You know what I'm saying? Like a business number instead. Like, but that's what we're supposed to do with our numbers. But it's like they're doing it with the businesses, and the businesses was never really supposed to exist in the way that it does now. Because obviously they're hiding behind businesses, so they can act like they ain't got to take accountability for what the businesses does to people's lives. What's happening, Aaron? Let me see. The 100% of what you do purposely go out there and start something. Have you retaliate, and soon as you retaliate in a manner they don't like you, they use 100% against you. 100. Yep, that's exactly what they do, man. It's all that gaslighting. It's happening. Tony Allen, Joey, Howard Harris, and Drake Mag. What's happening? What's happening? Tanya Webster. It's me, KT. What's happening? Kind of fell behind on the chat. Coco, Destiny, Carlos, Joseph, Craig, Vince, Stacy. What's happening, people? I don't need to say you need to pick my brain privately. Man, I know a lot of people be asking me, like, I might start doing some one-on-ones. I might. But I'm like one of the type people. I don't really talk much because, you know what I'm saying? I'll be observant and I just know too much. There's almost no point in talking, you know what I mean? Especially when most people be talking about BS. You know, I don't be caring what a lot of people be talking about. I don't mean it like that, but it's like some things that just I don't put my attention to, basically. You know what I mean? Because I know the truth of things, and I know they don't know the truth of the certain things they're talking about. What's happening? Phil Perkins, Chris, April. Let me catch back on the chat. I don't even think I even caught up on the chat yet. What's happening? Phoenix, Gary, Susan. When you say he's shadow banned, just like a lot of us go against the Matrix. Oh yeah, Superman. But all that about to start changing though. Because like I always been saying, I've been noticing, it's like things gonna have to start flipping. Because all the people is spreading all that negativity, they about to start disappearing online. They about to start getting shadow banned. Because that's one thing. Another thing that's inside that list that is preventing through the nationwide injunctions. Like I said, a lot of things gonna be changing probably within in the next few weeks. This year, like really fast. Now I even want to start talking about the stock market too. You know what I mean? The crypto markets. That's literally showing the signs. I don't know if y'all know. I got another YouTube channel where I basically show long term predictions, technical analysis on the crypto. And I do the stock market sometimes too. But both of them basically use a certain pattern. And if you know the other you know what I'm saying, things to go along with watching like day trading and stuff, I basically teach that on my other YouTube channel. But like a lot of things growing up that I ran into, it like all came together for now. You know what I'm saying? Like growing up, I always been an artist. You know what I'm saying? So I never watched cartoons. I started watching the Weather Channel, the news, and everything when I was a kid. So that's how I started realizing they've been lying on the news. You know what I'm saying? It just didn't make sense. I started realizing controlling the weather. And then like I said, like, and even I was a quote unquote conspiracy theorist. Like I'm talking about elementary school. I used to watch, what was that man name? He's one of the governors. They eventually cloned him too. Like he's still around, but like I said, he's a clone now. It's clear as day. But damn, it's gonna bother me. But basically, I used to watch that as a kid. But that's how I started getting into all the other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Reading the leaked documents and everything. Like basically my whole life. But then everything just started to come together as I got older. And like I said, right, especially not too long. Well, it's been a good minute beforehand, before the pandemic. But when the pandemic started, that's when I really just had the voice in my head, and I was like, man, I gotta at least tell people what I know, because it's crazy to see something like a certain documents I've seen and to watch how the way it literally happened. Throughout my whole lifetime, and I'm like, how did this literally go down? Like people. And even in some of these documents, it'll tell you what the average person will think if they seen this, and it's basically saying like, "No, that can never happen," type stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know how people you talk like NPCs you talk to now. When you tell them stuff that you know and things they should know, they'll just like, "Nah, you lying," and try to play it off like you stupid. When really they're so stupid they don't even realize they're stupid. Like like that shit is crazy. I was just like, damn, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? People really, they're that slow. They don't realize they're slow. And it's almost no reasoning with them because they don't know they're slow. They don't even know they can't think on their own. It's like something inside their brain is triggering them so they can't hear what you're saying. But yeah, shit crazy, boy. Oh yeah, let's talk about the comments. Oh my God. We see the comments and the meteorites coming down, and we seen the weather. So I want y'all to start paying attention to that. Every time we have a crazy, you know what I'm saying, crazy heat wave, we gonna see these meteorites coming through the sky net. Like literally, like this happens every time. And then also I want you to know it's gonna be in the same areas because that's where it's more weaker at, in these areas that they keep coming by. I want y'all to start paying attention to that now. Because there's a lot of things going on that's basically, you know what I'm saying? It's already written down in the books, just to keep it simple. And it literally all comes back to this year, over 20, 30 years ago. That's just still crazy to me. And one of these days, I'm gonna have to figure out how to the screen share on here, man, because it'll be much easier so I can show y'all a lot of things so it can make more sense. 'Cause I know y'all probably need more of a visual. But dang, where am I looking at now? Oh yeah, and then the AI. I know y'all be seeing all these AI videos that's popping up now, and it's like they're literally like, since people are waking up, they're trying to overrun the internet with you know what I'm saying, these quote unquote prompts. But it just, I don't know, it's so crazy to me, man. How everything is changing so fast, and it's all to really keep you distracted from what's literally happening right, you know what I'm saying, right in front of your eyes. You got people who's just begging for the worst, like literally, and ignoring all the good that's happening, not realizing that basically, you know what I'm saying, setting their destiny in stone. You know what I mean? They don't want to know right from wrong. They still don't want to take accountability. They just want to do what they do. And most of these people, you know what I'm saying, their main model is get the bag, you know what I'm saying, get you some money. And then that's the biggest issue. The morals just disappear. And you're very knowledgeable. Appreciate it, Shauna. Nelson, what's happening? What's happening, Chris Edwards? Carolina Chef. Says your first time catching me live. Yeah, man. I rarely go live. I probably still like throughout the years, I might have went live like on all my platforms maybe 15 times. I keep saying I'm gonna come on more, but I'm gonna start coming on more for real, for real. I'm at least trying to come on once a week now, at least. But I know I need to do better than that. I try to come on, you know what I'm saying? When things start changing a little bit and I gotta do some explaining, then I pop on, you feel me? That's what I usually do. But I'll just start popping on, you know what I'm saying? Like I see at least once a week, but I need to at least do 3 times a week. Because sometimes, you know, I could go on and on. People ask questions, and then, you know, what I'm saying, I don't know to respond to these questions, but it's a lot of things I want to talk about. But at the same time, I don't even know what I can talk about because they be shadow banning me all the time. Only there's a frequency war, and that's with anything with their frequency. Hence, adopting the barter system because we have learned to transmute minerals into gold, and it's a lot to do with the planet X and Anunnaki. Oh yeah, 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 most definitely. Everything that they did, they basically turned you know what I'm saying, the financial system into energy system. That's what I always say is that excuse me, the crypto and stock markets is basically our lifeline. Like it literally, you know, when you sit in the hospital and they check your pulse, like that's literally what that is. Because that's them with all our stolen money. And like I said, you know, a lot of that money is in the stock market. You know what I'm saying? Like that those recovered because these people that put the money in there, you know what I'm saying? They behind. Like I just explained, they had 324 people stole like what $15 billion. Like how can 324 people split $15 billion? You know what I'm saying? How is that possible? But you know, like I said, they be stealing and putting in the stock market and stuff. So once this money get released, like they have to take it out the markets, and that's one way I already know that's gonna help crash the markets because all that money is stolen. Because you know, there's basically working on everybody bonds and stuff that's connected to their STV trust, and once basically they reverse the contracts we unknowingly signed and agreed to throughout all these years since the world wars that's based on give everything back. That's even in the act, the SQ Act of 1666 says this. You know, they basically say if you don't claim yourself as alive by the age of 7, you know what I'm saying, you basically forfeit everything. That's how they've been stealing all our stuff and hiding away in their trust. But also at the end of the document, it says if these people is you know what I'm saying, basically claim to be alive after the fact, they receive all their land, all their property. It literally says that. And even says people that's on the land have to be evicted off of the land. And that goes back to the immigration thing. And like I said, they gotta be registered in their home countries is because in that SSDB trust it literally says people will be evicted from these lands, like, and that's what's happening. And it even goes even deeper than that, like goes to the rapture in the Bible and all that. The rapture, it means kidnapping. Like literally, like that's what's happening. That people don't look at it in the way it's really told. They even said they gonna come like a thief in the night through the windows. Like you got to think about it. That does that sound like a rapture? How people describe the rapture? But when you look up the real definition, like I said, the real definition in America, the rapture is one thing, you know what I'm saying? We all flying up to heaven, but then everywhere else, like, you know, the base meaning, it means kidnapping. And like when I say the mass deportation plan, like I was like, bro, that's a part of the rapture. Like that's their reset. Like I always say they're gonna reset before the real reset. Because like I said, they gotta balance out the energy. Like you say, it's an energetic system. Like they gotta balance the energy in order for us to even ascend. So imagine us being down, like imagine us being in flat land, right? We're in a hole that's right below the surface of Earth. As we rise, right, they have to balance the energy so we rise here, but then we'll continue to rise, you know what I'm saying, above the plane of inertia, while everybody else drop. The people that's not rising, like I said, the people that don't want to learn right from wrong, they're gonna drop. And they won't be able to pass the surface of Earth. because they can't pass Christ's frequency because they want to stay below it, while everybody else get above it and we're basically back on the surface of Earth because we're not on the surface of Earth. So as I always say, we're in a black hole in the middle of the Earth. And like I always bring up too, it's like back in not like last year when we seen the eclipse, we clearly know that that was not the moon. That's literally the black hole sun. From opposites, we're inside of it. It looks like a black ball. And that's basically the sun we see is not even a real sun. You know, I showed y'all the patent from NASA. NASA literally has a patent for the sun. You know what I'm saying? They harvest the energy from the real sun to keep us alive down here. But this whole thing is all created, man. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Like I even explained to y'all in Genesis, they literally explain to you how they're creating everything inside of a black hole. And they explain to you how the spirits hovered above the waters of the black hole. But basically, that's what they're basically trying to get people that actually have a spirit disconnected from their spirit, because your spirit is what allows you to think on your own. But when you disconnect it, that's when you go with the program. You just follow you just follow what they say because you just have no will to you know what I'm saying to do your own thing. But like a lot of people don't have free will anyway, so they just really don't have a spirit. But the soul is a program. The spirit is you. And the way I always try to explain the difference between a soul or a spirit, because I know most people watch basketball at some point. We all know basketball players play differently, but you know what I'm saying? But let's say we got a group, you know what I'm saying, two people, right? That went through the same camp. You know what we all learned same fundamentals, right? You have one person, but you'll see a lot of people play the same, but you'll see people that play just fundamentally. You know what I'm saying? Like they just play like the game was taught to be played. But then you have other people, they can play like the game was taught to be played, but their own way. You know what I'm saying? Because they have a spirit, you know what I'm saying, that they could do it. They're like, oh yeah, I might want to do this. And they can do this one thing way better than someone else can do. You know what I mean? Like people crossovers, the way people jump, how they play defense, all that is completely different. That's what makes people way more better than others because they excel, you know what I'm saying, in certain areas way better because that's their style of play, what they like to do. And basically anything you like to do, you're gonna excel in. But again, like I say, that's your spirit. And if you don't have a spirit, you're just gonna do what the game taught you to do. Play just like that. And that goes, you know, you can slide this and into real life. Let's say you're a police officer. You know what I'm saying? They taught you the game like this. You know the game dirty, but do you have to play the game dirty, or can you be dirty, quote unquote, dirty yourself, and actually do the right thing when you run into situations? You know, if you pull somebody over for quote unquote speeding, you know what I'm saying, 15 over when you know there wasn't, you trying to escalate it, you know what I'm saying, like stuff like that, that means you're evil. But then you let's say you're the partner and you see the evil guy because he got an evil spirit, and you can intervene in that. But if you decide not to, just as bad as the evil spirit, and especially if you continue to work for these people and you see it all the time. But you know, that's the we're basically going through judgment, and judgment is your whole life. And it's like if you just refuse, even though you know things are wrong because you have a spirit, but you just decide to ignore it. You know, you just gonna lose access to it. Crazy. What's happening, Kelvin Nelson, Cheryl Clayton, Jeff, Carlos, Taylor, Brian, Gary? I'm gonna catch up on the chat real fast. You know, had y'all hang just in case y'all have some more questions up in here. What's happening, Aaron? That's 100% a symptom of cognitive dissonance. What you talking about right now, program NPCs. Oh yeah, that cognitive dissonance is crazy, bro. I can't believe it, man. Like I, you know what I'm saying? It just always blows my mind that people just it's retarded. That's the easiest way to put it. You know, I don't like to use that word, but like at this point in time, it's like I'm gonna call you retarded because I feel as though you're just choosing to, like, you know what I'm saying. You just don't want to use your brain. You just want to wake up, probably just go to work, and then you know what I'm saying. Go home on weekends to party. Like that's probably what's all in your brain. And then come online just to leave some negative comments. Like just imagine your brain. That's your three main things you think about all the time. That should be crazy. Happening, Chris Peacock, Carlos. The veil has broken. Oh yeah, it definitely is. When I'm talking about the EMF, man. Once you start falling, because oh yeah, also we all heard about the Golden Dome too. You know what I'm saying? That's a part of when the EMF breaks. You know what I mean? Because you had to have something to try to protect people, but without it, they basically making a whole nother energetic field. But it's not going to be. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be able to leave type thing because things are being designed in a way that's not taking our energy. Because like I say, everything we see, like the sky, it's like I say, it's electrical fence that's draining our energy. And they're using every tower that we see. Like I explained during all the world wars, that's when they first started placing towers everywhere. Like imagine, I know we all have heard about ore. It's literally draining energy out the air, out the ethers, into the towers to basically produce electricity for everybody else. Because like I said, it's main people that has that type of energy that they can transmute. And then there's a lot of people that's a negative polarity and they can't produce energy. And obviously that's why they live in the underworld because they have no light. And that's why you hear about the light bears and all this type stuff because they're stealing from us. But they basically put so many masks on us. Like I said, most of us is like humans and everything else that don't look like humans is hidden. They make us think like we're just here, you know what I'm saying, by ourselves and we're not different. I mean, we're different, but like I say, the bloodlines. And like I always try to explain, like there's always three main races. Is the image of man, the Palladians, and the Greys. And in the human form, it depends on how much of that blood you have. But the image of man, you will look like me, you know what I'm saying? Basically a quote unquote black person. And then you have the Palladians, which is the red hair people, you know what I'm saying? Because they have extra melanin, curly hair, all that. But that's why they look different. I even explained it, even tells you in the Bible, you know what I'm saying? It tells you what these people look like. But I made videos specifically showing all that stuff. And also the third one, you have the Grays. They all also have big heads, you know, like for instance, Jaku, who is great God of L, the one that's on the $1 bill, literally showing you a gray on the $1 bill. But that's the one that started. They created the underworld or whatnot. He's described as a big black scientist, a big headed black scientist. You know what I'm saying? They literally show it on the dollar bill. But basically, they're different types of grays now, but they all say got a big head that we all can see. And usually, to make it easy for us to see, I mean, for you to make sense of it, they're basically the dwarfs. Like that's not a genetic mutation; they're grays. They have gray DNA inside of them. Because it's one thing for it just be a small amount of people, but it's clearly it's a whole race, and the genetics is that strong. So anybody, you know what I'm saying, that got, you know what I'm saying, that's quote unquote black, or the red hair, the ginger people, and the dwarfs, you know what I'm saying, like they can literally change the whole race of whoever, you know what I'm saying, whoever they mate with. But then of course, you know, we got these clones out here that can somehow create babies. But you know what I'm saying? Like I said, the thing is crazy out here. And you got other beings that they, you know what I'm saying, that can mix with other things like animals and everything. But as long as they got some of the image of man, that's the one thing that connects everybody because of how strong the blood is. And that's what allows everybody to mate with everybody because of the image of man. You know, like in Genesis, they say, let's make man into our image. The image they were talking about in there, because the God of the Bible, Adam, Neptune, whatever you want to call him, Yahweh, he's a dragon. He's a full blown dragon. There's only three full blown dragons. There'll be Uranus also, which is Eve, and then you got Ra, which is Mars. There's only three magical dragons, but they wasn't able to be created. But that's how the reptilians came because they mixed with the image of man. And also, once that happened, because the first reptilian was Satan, that's how he went basically made a whole race with Eve by deceiving her in the garden, and then he made a whole race of man by basically killing everybody and raping the women just because he had the blood of man and the blood of a dragon. And also, that's when the Israelites came about. And then you had the Edomites. The Edomites is man mixed with the Palladians. But people really think they just say it's white people. It's deeper than that. Like I said, that's the red hair people, which is a whole nother race. And catch back up on his chat. It's happening. Jeffrey, Tony, Joey. Andre, what's happening? Wow, bro, he just described most religious folks' brains are dead. Oh yeah, man. Nowadays, they literally just say, "Oh, just let go, let it go to Jesus." You know, and just throw everything on Jesus. Because they don't want to think. And then they get mad when I want to put verses where Jesus literally say they use my name in vain. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I don't know these people. Like those people you tell me he don't know, but they always want to use my name. And always some bullshit. You know what I mean? Like he literally says it himself. You know what I'm saying? I'm at them repost those videos, and I want y'all to look at the comments yourself. I get attacked all the time. Anytime I use the word Jesus, they go to radicalization. Boom. And don't even realize like if Jesus was to pop up, he will be a black. The base of Jesus is the closest image of man. That's why they considered him a fully man because he's technically still the dragon too. That one of the OG races of the excuse me of the reptilians. And that's why he is balanced because you know what I'm saying. He's basically duality. He's the only being in the universe that is duality. So basically, you know what I'm saying, that don't mean we could be duality at all. You know what I'm saying? You either good or bad. But we're in middle ground in the judgment inside of an area that will be, I wouldn't say necessarily controlled by him, but you know what I'm saying, you gotta pass him to get through heaven. But if your frequency too low, that's how it's gonna turn to some evil stuff instead of being good. Not really evil, but that's preventing the evil from going in, you know what I'm saying, crossing into heaven type thing. Carlos, what's happening? We building an algorithm just like talking amongst each other now. Oh yeah, man. I feel like our day is coming, man. They gonna start shadow banning all these negative ass people on here all the time. They gonna start getting shadow banned because they gonna start losing all that extra money and all that extra funding they being paid just to spread. You know what I'm saying? The misinformation, the negative things that just you know what I'm saying that overlaps into people's lives. I know, like I mentioned this in one video I recently said, right? When I realized how damaging like videos can be and music and all that shit could be when you're younger, because I remember growing up. I remember back in the day, it was a game called 50 Cent Bulletproof. You know, and I know we all know about 50 Cent. I used to want to get shot just to be like 50 Cent. I want to be bulletproof. And that didn't even, you know what I'm saying? That makes no sense. I could see how people can just start being bad and just want to get in that type of lifestyle because it was really like, that shit is brainwashing. And another thing, stepping on my shoes. Like it used to be a trigger just because I heard it all on the movies and all on the music. I used to want to fight in my head. Like I used to think about it, like damn, I should hit this thing. You know what I'm saying? Step in my shoes. I'm like, why am I thinking like that? Like it wasn't never my thoughts. You know what I'm saying? It was a false memory, false feelings that was just implanted into my head. Because at the end of the day, I really, you know what I'm saying? I could wipe my shoes off. I always buy another pair, but it's like, dang, why would I fight because somebody stepped in my shoes? I used to really think like that back in the day. I mean, I never act out on it, but like I said, I questioned myself on a lot of things, and that was one thing to question myself on because it didn't make sense. It's happened. Jessica, Glenn, Susan, Louise. Only he said teach some classes paid. I mean, I might. I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to make any promises and shit. Cause like I said, I don't talk too much, but like I said, I'm gonna build. I'm gonna start coming on here more often though. But I might do something like that eventually. Like I say, eventually. It's happened. Irvin Johnson. Catch back up on the chat. Carlos take his slow brother to build up his way better. You'll get us coming in like it's cool. Hey man. Yeah, man. I know, man. I'm gonna take it slow. Like I said, I'm gonna start coming on here more because yeah, like I said, I be saying all the time, I'm serious this time, man. It's happening, Davon, Hampton, Baltimore. What's happening? Reggie Hill, appreciate the insight. Appreciate you, man. What's up, niece? Sub EG, Bobby, you are a great awakening. Yeah, most definitely, man. I can't wait till all of this is over. Cause like I said, I've known about a lot of this stuff for a long time, I be seeing the truth in everything. You know, even all the symbols I be seeing, you know, saying on people's chest, at the hospitals, everything that's right there in our face. I be, you know what I'm saying? I see everything for what it is. It's like we're living in a movie, bro. Just to keep it simple, because everything already been planned. Like even like you know what I'm saying, things in the Bible, they basically realize how the way our minds. But like I said, we're controlling this reality. And also, I always got to mention reincarnation is real because we're in the fourth world. Everybody didn't live four lifetimes just here, or even more. You know what I'm saying? But there is people that been here 3 to 4 lifetimes. But only the last two worlds we was in a black hole, which is this world and the world beforehand, which started us in a black hole. Because basically, what you read in Revelations, right, is something that's already happened. But they realize how our minds work. So when things reset, they basically put it in the book so we can do the same thing again because of how it worked before. But the whole point is trying to prevent us from realizing that it already happened. You know what I mean? But once you know it already happened, you know how to prevent what they already did. Christopher Edwards, do you feel like wisdom? Do you feel like wisdom sometimes? Like, do you talk to people and they don't listen? Oh yeah, most definitely. Even to be a lot of people that I be close with. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm not gonna say be close with. I'm gonna just say, yeah, I'm not gonna say that because you know what I'm saying. The homies, you know what I'm saying, all that they listen and everything. But let's say if I had a significant other, nah, I don't know. Like I said, most time I be feeling like they just go against everything. It's like they don't be trying to listen to anything. I'm like, dang, how you sitting right beside me? And you don't listen to anything I'm saying. I'm trying to be positive. You know what I'm saying? They be trying to bring the chaos, and I'm like, dang, now I gotta be by myself. You know what I mean? But that's how it seemed like a lot of times. But like I said, as far as wisdom, like friend wise, people that actually don't have no biases, yeah, definitely wisdom. Like even growing up, like I said, they always called me an old soul. It was always because I remember a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying? There was a lot of things I remember, like dreams I had about the future, you know what I'm saying? Even about information that I ran into as I got older. Like I remember having dreams about being on a computer before we even had computers. But I mean, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know what it was until, you know what I'm saying? Then eventually it all makes sense. But that's another thing how I knew everything was kind of, you know what I'm saying, off because how can I have a dream about the future? That don't make any sense. And then multiple times, you know what I'm saying? Especially life changing events. I even got people that could prove it, you know what I'm saying? Which is even crazy. But when things start happening in dreams you had years ago, it's like, yeah, this world is kind of trippy. It's happened. Daryl Long, Karen, C. Winslow, and Christopher Edwards. That's why I'm trying to change his status. Oh yeah, man. Like I say, like I be showing on here, right? That I only have birth certificate. I got certificate of live birth, and on there, it literally the Social Security Administration asks to do. Can they have my information to furnish the Social Security number? You know what I'm saying? It literally says X on or no. You know what I mean? On my birth certificate. You know what I'm saying? And that like by itself is like evidence of fraud because how I get Social Security number. They put me in the system anyways. But I was trying to take access of the trust and everything too, and it's supposed to be a number on my live certificate of birth. Like I could see it on my original one, but it's obviously faded. And I try to get it. You know what I'm saying? Got a new one a few times, and I even got you know what I'm saying, but it didn't have a number on it. So I basically tried to get in contact with the lady. Well, I did get in contact. I'm from New York. So it's like I got into contact a lady in New York City, like the head person over everything. I literally got her personal number, called her. You know what I'm saying? But basically, I started talking about trying to, yeah, I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying, finesse my way and trying to figure out how to get that number. But you know, basically, when I had to come up straightforward because I could tell she kind of knew what I was doing anyways, and then she started playing dumb. Then once they start playing dumb, you already know it's over because it's like, man, they gonna try to they basically try to force me to create some kind of court case to get access to my own shit, basically. But yeah, she didn't want to give me that number. But I know a lot of people still got to go through the process of changing their status and all that stuff. But like I said, me initially, like I'm a regular Black American citizen. Not I said so wrong, not a citizen, but a regular Black American that don't have to be a citizen. So it's like I said, and also I got proof that I'm not a citizen. So I should just be able to go straight into the process of doing that without trying to change status and all that extra stuff. 'Cause especially all the excuse me, younger people, they definitely automatically citizens too because they got birth certificates. People's certificates of live birth, and if you already been a original American, you're not even in the system unless you decide to register your body, like I mentioned earlier. And like the easy way to register your body is by voting. You know what I mean? And we're not supposed to vote and give up our energy. And I always say that, but people, do it anyways. Because like nobody sit there and ask the question like, why do you have what are you registering to vote? What are you registering? Like, why do you have to register to vote? It don't make sense. Why can't you just go and vote? But it's basically you registering your body to the state. Like that's how they be able to send you into jury duty and stuff. You know what I mean? Only because you're a citizen. That's how they own your body. Just like when you register your car every year, you're registering it to the state. So that basically it makes it seem as though you're an employee of the state where your car is. So that's what I'm saying, that it gives them more quote unquote leeway why the police can pull you over and send you to administrative courts. And those was the ones that got stopped in saying nationwide injunctions and stuff because administrative courts is enforcing these policies that they're not supposed to be enforcing. Because everything's so, like I said, it's so fraudulent. Like child support, administrative courts be doing that. They're literally frauding you. Like for one, how they even get you in court? They had to steal your information to get you there in the first place. You know what I mean? They basically steal the money out your trust, and they just live off your trust. And then the money, part of money that you're paying back to your quote unquote baby mama, like they're going their retirement. You know what I'm saying? That they're getting more money than you're getting or her. It makes no sense. This is all to destroy the family. When people emotionally get caught up into it, they might hear me and get mad if I say something about child support. But it's like, bro, that's their retirement plan. You just don't know it. And if you know how much money they're actually stealing from you, it's gonna be, you're probably more mad about that because like how they get a little life benefiting off of your trust. It should be crazy. Cleavon Dixon, what's happening? Yeah, he finally caught me. It's definitely hard to catch me online. I ain't gonna lie to you. Misha Gentry. People really don't see what's going on. Yep, they really don't, man. I don't know what's wrong with people nowadays. I mean, I know what's wrong with them. And then most likely, I know it's the post-19, to be honest. That's another thing that do got me a little scared for everybody because I be thinking like, man, that shit really did something to somebody. Not somebody, but a lot of people. Because I feel like there should be no way. Like the amount of people that can't think, it gotta be the post-19 they took. Because like every time you try to get them to think, something inside them just gets triggered. You know what I'm saying? And they really ain't trying to hear you. They going against everything you say. That jump be blowing me. Appreciate it, Rose, Quiet Storm. Like I way that name spelled, man. I ain't never seen it spelled that way. Daryl Long, it sounds like a kidnapping. Oh yeah, when I was talking about that earlier, it's definitely a kidnapping. Now I know I'm probably behind on the chat. It's happening. Ashley Lopez. I've been doing some research on my trust and the number on the back of the birth certificate and social media. I, I got only so far though. Oh yeah, man. Like I say, like that's the whole point. Like even when you try to go through the process of doing anything, which is birth certificate and all that, certificate of live birth, all that type of stuff to try to access your trust. The system is designed for you to not even know the trust is there. So that's why you're gonna keep running at everybody that's gonna gaslight you. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna look at you like you're dumb. But a lot of people just really might not know even in their own positions because they only know they're helping with the fraud. You know what I'm saying? But like that's the whole point of, like I said, what Trump is doing. He's reversing everything, all the policies we unknowingly agreed to. That's what he's trying to do and get us out these contracts because it's gonna leave you in a big old circle. Everybody can do this and this and that. Or you gotta pay me this amount of money, pay me this amount of money. But then it's like it gets to a point to where like if you got that amount of money to pay these people to get the information, you're not even a slave, bro. Like you're fine. That at some point in time you benefited from the system. That people don't see that. But the people that really need to get out, you know what I'm saying, that to get that access to their stuff, they ain't got no money. Because they know that they do have all the credit and those ones that has to be oppressed. And those the ones, you know what I'm saying, the system lives off of essentially. Happen Hilltop Lucci, J. Nicole online and move your hair off your face. Yeah, my hair getting a little too long now. I was trying to do that earlier, but it keep it's gonna keep on coming down. And I was growing as I start growing it, man, you know, everybody been like, bro, you sure you want that in your face? I was like, man, I'll figure it out whenever I get there. But yeah, I think I got like probably another 2 months and I don't know. I probably could never have it hanging down 'cause I don't be able to see no more. It was fun while it lasted though. It's happening. Tammy Mentor, Christopher Edwards. Oh yeah, $14.7 trillion. Yeah, man. Them boys living the life. And that's just one thing. Like I said, at $14.12 trillion, that just that one healthcare fraud scheme. That's just one scheme. Like you got to keep that in mind. That's one scheme. It was countless schemes, and it's still going on today. You know what I mean? And all the doctors and all that stuff that proved that the hot sauce 19 and all that they going down to everybody. All them evil people knew they was doing, and they was all doing it for the bag while destroying people's lives. Because you're only going to go on the side effects. You know what I'm saying? They already off a lot of people, but the side effects too, it's forever. With a lot of people out here. Bugatti medicine, what's happening? The devil goes through your generational history and find legal things to use against you to weaken, but make you stronger. Life is chess, not checkers. Yeah, most definitely. It's always them games, following, to catch it slipping. Lavonda Bear, what's happening? Robert, Alfred, Kentucky, K City, what's happening? April, dang, that's messed up. I like to constantly hit the emoji to gain attention, and so it doesn't let me continue to continue to Kingston need to be heard. What? They not even letting you hit the like button? That's crazy. That's crazy. You know how they do me, man. Miss Lady Drizzle, what's happening? Jay Nicole, I didn't get it. My kids have never got vaccinated. I always use religious against them. Oh yeah, most definitely. You got to. You know how a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? Even if, like I say, for instance, I know a lot of people experience this. You know, you might not want to get your kids a potion or whatnot, right? And the doctor be like, well, you gotta leave this office. You can't be here no more. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to think about it. They know exactly what they're doing. Like everybody got licenses and they sign oaths and everything to be quiet and just like I say, do anything for the bag and don't care for the person. 'Cause like for instance, right? You know, we can go to the ER or something. You could be in that motherfucker. Excuse me. You could be in there all day long just to wait for the doctor to come in and look at you for 5 minutes, and he just determined what everything. Like he determined what kind of medicine you need. He didn't even watch you. He didn't even look at you, but he know what medicine you need. You know what I'm saying? But it's like they come in to examine you to see what kind of person you are. They're like, let's say they seen something out of the ordinary, like some extraterrestrial type shit. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna say nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? Like they gonna keep that secret and make sure nobody talk about it. Like that's the whole point of them just to come through and make sure we don't see. You know what I'm saying? People don't see things they don't need to see. They don't need you coming in there and you got some reptilian eyes. You know what I'm saying? Of course, people gonna freak out, but they gotta make sure it's, you know what I'm saying, you don't talk and keep everything a secret. And obviously keep you marked because they keep track of everybody. Tap and Ray John Whitehead are so known as all truths, and we just don't remember. No, most definitely. No, you can feel like once you get more in tune with yourself, you can just feel. I can feel it in people's voice when they talk when they lying. That shit crazy. It's happened, Calvin. When I was in the feds, they used to use that in order for us to get out of prison. Where it was happening, Lonnie Jack, Hilltop, Tammy, I'm trying to catch back up on this chat. Carlos, remember that old saying, monkey on the back? Yeah, just like that. Human vessels hijacked by demonic ET. Now, I ain't hear that one, but it definitely makes sense though. It's happening, Carla Turner, J. Nicole, my future husband. Much love. Rob Allen, Ashley Lopez, what's happening? Prince Sheffield, Chris. You have to knock 3 times. Like that 3 time rule, it goes for a lot of things, boy. I live by that 3 time rule. Clay Arthur, what's happening? I like that picture. Outfit crimes, demons, witches, warlocks, Nephilims. Yup. And you know, when I was just talking about the doctors and stuff, right? And you know, we been hearing about witches, warlocks, and all that, but it's like growing up, we all heard the term witch doctor, right? And it's like they always tell us half the truth with everything. Like that's what they always do, give you half the truth. Unless you decide, because society is what makes you decide the other half of the truth. So it's like we always heard witch doctors, but it's like we don't consider the doctor, the people we go to that give you potions. You know, they literally give you potions they been cocked up in a lab. And how's that not a witch doctor? You know what I mean? That's what a witch doctor is, because I always try to explain, like when I was explaining earlier, we are in the fourth world, like the last world, the witch doctor would look like a witch doctor. You know what I'm saying? It'll be obvious. In this world, everything is disguised and just deceiving everybody because it's ran by Satan. Even though it's clear as day, like I said, once you wake up and you see the truth, it's clear as day. But otherwise, if you know what I'm saying? I've been at a point in time I didn't really see everything. Although I was much younger, but you know what I'm saying? I didn't see everything for what it really was. I was still living in an illusion, trying to just what people told me type thing. Then I had to start thinking for myself. I was like, man, listen to everybody else kind of got me feeling down, you know what I mean? One put me in the position I want to be in, or at least in the mental state, until I started thinking of my own. Lindsay Nicole, what do you think will come on July 4th? Man, I don't even know, to be honest. I'm waiting myself. But that's definitely a big day, though, you know, an Independence Day. And we all seen that big, beautiful bill that got passed. Oh, yeah, and about that, I don't care if nobody say, people be talking about, I wanted to make a video about it, but some things I don't make videos about if I don't got enough information on it. But I started reading the big, beautiful bill. That motherfucker, that thing is a Harry Potter book. There is no way anybody read that. I'm gonna just say that now. I just seen a lot of things, but I did find one chapter that was pretty interesting. It literally labeled families over the elites. You know what I'm saying? When you see stuff in there like that, and of course, I got screenshots and stuff in my phone, but also I can't show you on here. But it shows some juicy things. And you can see why they did do the, you know what I'm saying, nationwide injunctions. You know what I'm saying, and they just trying to slow everything down, because a lot of people we see that judges, lawyers, you know what I'm saying, police, even the deputies, like you know what I'm saying, they're corrupt too. Like all these people is going down inside of there because they're using them for the elites. They're like security guards. They sit here and find loopholes in these policies and laws and all that extra stuff you know what I'm saying, that's not clear to use against us. That's all they've been doing this whole time. It's happened Shamari Knight, Terrence Sanders. What if a person, and people you're talking to haven't taken the post-19 aren't able to think, just instantly cancel you out what you're trying to inform them about? Oh no, that's what I'm saying. Like, all right, so there's people that never had a spirit really, like they could never think anyway. They're so low vibrational because of their bloodline. It's like they just want to control that they're part of the matrix. You might go say NPC. They really never can think. But then you have the people that could think, that did have a connection to their spirit. That potion 19 took it away. Now they're just like the low vibrational people because they basically changed their genetics. So they literally can't uphold a conversation of substance. They got to be something just that's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Some kind of illusion. They're listen to delusion versus the realness. But that's how I always be trying to explain, because a lot of people, like people that have a spirit has a soul, like I was saying earlier. But then there's people that just have a soul. They're just a program, literally, and the program is to convince the people with spirits to do the same thing that they're doing. Because like I said, our whole life is judgment, and it's either you overall good or you overall bad. Ain't no duality, ain't no in between. Carlos Lindsay, nothing at all. If you instill fear, you're working for. You said 4 times, maybe 5 now. Oh, you respond to somebody else. My bad. Angie, what's happening? Y'all want a foundation? Oh, you got let's see, Carl Turner, what's happening? Appreciate the love, J. Nicole. Catching back on the chat. What's happening, Sabrina? You gotta use a headband for the locks. Oh, I do sometimes. Yeah, usually when I'm at work. You know, I'm just at the crib right now, just chilling. And then see, I said it twice now because I think when the true beginning of liberation, you'll see, and I also asked about liberation of mankind. Oh yeah. That's what I'm believing too, because I would assume they're trying to replace it. You know what I'm saying? Trying to do it before a real independence liberation day type thing for what it really means, especially of mankind. Because like I said, that's the whole point. Because like I always try to explain, like when he say "Make America Great Again," he's saying that for a reason. Because or else it'd be like, let's make the United States corporation great again. He never mentions the United States, the corporation that is. And he always do mention the people, which is mankind, humanity. And like I always said, he basically finishing what JFK was trying to do, and they basically got Rick trying to get rid of him because he's trying to do exactly what Trump is doing, way ahead of time. Because you don't can imagine if JFK got that word out, you know what I'm saying, and people really understood what he was saying and prevented all this from happening, you know what I'm saying, like 50 years ago, like it'll probably been all war already, you know what I'm saying? It'd been a whole different outcome. And it definitely would not dragged out this long. So they had to take him out quickly. It's happening, Abdul, Calvin. No, you said Bill Gates. Oh, Bill Gates gone. They definitely get Bill Gates. Because he already see what he, excuse me, he already see what he did to all our food, bro. It's over. And of course, he helped with all the post 19, all, you know what I'm saying, all the misinformation. And as y'all, if I made a video not too long ago, how the way, how the way goddamn Bill Gates tells him he basically gonna donate his whole fortune over the next few years. I'm like, come on, bro, you ain't donating nothing. Like they just taking all that money back that you stole from everybody. But that's what they all doing. They all trying to make some kind of alibi for them going broke, not being the richest men no more because they already know what time it is. They lost all their funds and all the money they were stealing from the government, all the money they were stealing from America. It's over for them. Even just like the politicians and stuff, you know what I mean? That's why you seen them like I know y'all see they tell them they withdrawing all their money out these stock markets and all this and this and that. They'll be trying to run to them sanctuary cities. But it don't matter. Ain't gonna be nothing here no more anyways. Y'all see everything they doing, you know what I'm saying? It's all backfiring. Just having and battling. I ain't never seen that name before. I like that though. The Marnus, young boy Jay, what's happening? Carlos, yeah, liberation for all of humanity is coming. It happens to Sabrina Childs, Lupe, what's happening? Lonnie, I was trying to get back into the video and I can't take me to some other person. He said it took you to some other person. Oh, that's wild. Lindsay Nicole, I was asking and listening, wasn't watching the chat at the time. No need to be rude with me. What? What's happening to Mika Jones? Peace, peace. Nakia, me neither. No potions and not for your children. Most definitely, that's the best way to go. Because we got to think about it. We all know God gave us an immune system, right? It needs to be used. Ain't no point in letting something else be the immune system. Because another deeper thing is like the hospitals, right? Wasn't meant for people with spirits. Because people with spirits have a strong immune system. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like a God's defense system inside of you. You don't need a hospital. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like you don't need to take no medicine. Everything like diabetes, all this type of stuff is basically fake. You know what I'm saying? It's just because you're poison. You know, any disease is literally a dis-ease in your frequency. You just gotta fix what's wrong. Because all they're doing is blocking everything up inside of us with all this fake stuff. See, me personally, I fast a lot. You know what I'm saying? If I do eat, I'm eat once a day, and usually I skip at least 2 days out the week, and I don't eat at all. Just 'cause I know everything is fake. I went through my vegetarian stage, I went through my vegan stage, but then I realized that a lot of that stuff is almost just as bad. You know what I'm saying? Is the other food because they put the GMO in there too. There's no escaping here in America. Like we done for, to be honest, till everything changes. Ashley Lopez, you know what was really messed up? I'm thinking that the portion is what you're talking about, and they made it mandatory for people who are working to have potion. In my opinion, was horrible. In my opinion. Oh yeah, Ashley Lopez. Like yeah, that's what I always try to say. Like I got this one video I always say tell people to watch Trump True Purpose because if you watch it over and over. Eventually, once you understand what I've been saying in the video, you'll start to see them executive orders. Like that's what Trump is doing now. What they made nationwide injunctions for to stop those executive orders. But basically, like when you issue a national emergency, right? That's when the power, like Trump never even finished his term, right? So basically, it's your national emergency, and that gave power to FEMA. So that's when he issued national prayer aid once he lost his power because he couldn't do anything no more. So basically, once he released the power and it's in FEMA's hands, they bypassed Congress. That's how they was able to do everything they did and why they rushed everything before anything could be challenged in court. So basically, it's like, they bypassing Congress. That's how they was able to say, hey, y'all go home. Hey, we got to put all these towers up by this certain amount of time. You know what I mean? Hey, y'all gotta take this potion or you can't work. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of orders they put into play. But back then, like y'all see how way people fighting Trump right now, just always talking negative and ignoring all the good things that's happening. Right? You didn't see none of that happening back in the day when they literally telling us to stay home and take this potion 19. Like if you look back at it right now, that shit was like a movie. Like it was literally apocalypse. You know what I'm saying? They literally they made us stay home. Even had people wearing masks in their house, in their car. People, if you went to some places without a mask, you're going to jail. Like you got to think about how bad that was. You couldn't go to the gym. Like they literally took all your freedom away. They made everybody prisoners, just like that. It didn't take long at all. You know what I'm saying? As soon as they lost power, boom, took all your freedom away and made you took even your free will choice. You know what I'm saying? And they urged people to take the potion 19. And then had people take potion 19. Now they getting freaked out that you didn't take it because they like, oh, if I took it, you gotta take it. And that's the evil stuff. That's low vibrational people. They feel like you need to be in the same position they in. You can't be in a better position. Even if they took it and they had side effects, they still gonna want you to take it. You know what I mean? Just like you still see to this day, everybody took it, it's still catching it. Why they still catching it? You know what I mean? Think about it. They ain't got no immune system. Or the ones that it destroyed their genetics. Those are the ones that basically took their immune system away, and they're gonna be activated every time they decide they flip something on the towers. Because every time somebody do get sick, it's because of the towers. Because they can just send out a frequency, and whoever it connects to, it's over for them. Nicole, he said he's still eating a certain type of story. He probably ate the jab, to be honest. See, the thing with that though, right? The thing that they have to get your free will consent. That's just the thing. So with the potion 19, most of the time they have people sign for it. You know what I'm saying? Like you signed to take that. You gave them consent. You literally said, here's my arm. You literally took the test, said, "Here's my forehead." You know what I'm saying? Like they literally even put it in the Bible for you. You know what I'm saying? And your arm on your forehead. You know what I'm saying? Also your arm. You know what I'm saying? Your forehead when they suck them big ass Q-tips and then all the way to the back. You know what I'm saying? To the back of your head to your third eye. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, bro. Even the Q-tips had its own electrical signal. It's like y'all not seeing this. I didn't take none. You know what I'm saying? They had Margellans on the Q-tips and everything too. And I'm, you know what I'm saying? I've just been good on that. I was like, man. But luckily, I got to, you know what I'm saying? I had to go through all that coercion. But I know a lot of people did, but it was pretty messed up. Because, like I said, the whole time I knew exactly what they was doing. And everybody was still just calling me crazy, you know what I'm saying? They didn't want to listen to me because they was so stuck in fear. Corey Nelson, what's happening? Bro, you speak back some research. I listen to you, but confused. What up with Trump? You hold him down? Now, I always try to explain to people with Trump, right? Like I say, it's the left wing. The easy way I always put it, the left wing is no free will. The right wing is free will. And the thing is, you have to have free will to know there's a third option, which is humanity, mankind. And that's what you got to get to. But that's what you got to put your own work in, you know what I'm saying, of your own research so you can understand that there's a difference and you don't have to be in the system. And that goes back to me saying how the way the quote unquote Black Americans, we're not in the system that we think we're in. But like I said, people got to wake up to the truth, and they gotta actually put actions towards the truth in order for it to to change in the real world. Just like everybody putting actions towards the negative stuff and believing in it, that's why I continue on in the real world. It's happened. Derek about to catch back up on his chat real fast. Chris, what's happening? Lupe, none of my family got the potion. My boss told me that I need to get the potion. I told her if you need to fire me, then so be it. See, yeah, that's the thing. I guarantee you, like all the people, it's like they was basically getting paid to get people, you know what I'm saying, get people to take the potion 19. And like everybody on those businesses, ain't none of them took it. I mean, unless they was an NPC. If there was an NPC, they would took it, but otherwise, if they most lot like a lot of people that actually could think on their own, they didn't take it, but they will demand their employees to take it. Just like the people we seen on TV, all of them over here convincing people to take it, being that I'm saying the head leader online all the time, saying this, saying that, trying to coerce you to do it. None of them took it. They even made an exception for all the government people. You know what I'm saying? So they don't gotta take it, but we gotta take it. Didn't make any sense. But of course, people still fall for it anyways. Rob Ellen wrote hundreds of exemptions. Word, got to, man. Especially in them days. What's happening, Vendetta? Benedetta? Yeah, I never seen that name for neither. Unique. It's half ambitious for sure. Ambitious folk, my bad, my bad. Catch up on here. Oh, damn, I'm super bad on the chat. My bad, my bad. What's happening, Robert Price? Spro, him defied odds. What's happening? Appreciate it. One as smart as I seen her in. Man, keep going, bro. Most definitely will. Niche Marie, my bad. Danny Green, what's happening? Jay Smooth, knowledge is key, my brother. Most definitely appreciate it. King Robio, Keon Jackson, what's happening? April, Patricia, Evan, what's happening? Love Jones. You said you ain't take it, but you had two tests? Yeah, man. Like I say, like I say, everything was deception. Because when I was saying thing about consent, like that's the thing. Like I don't even know why I didn't even finish saying I was saying earlier about the consent. So basically, they need your consent for your immune system not to work. Because, like I said, it's a universal law type thing. They need your consent. That's what everything, because we have a higher standing, and you got to show knowledge that you know what's actually happening as it's happening. But obviously, we've been deceived. You know what I mean? So it don't count if you was to eat the food. You know what I mean? Unless you know what I'm saying, unless the food had a big ass label saying, "Oh yeah, we put this and this and this and that on it," and you still decide to eat it. But you know, when you go in to take the potion and you sign a piece of paper, I mean that's the worst thing you can possibly do. Why you got to sign to take something? Just so you can take all liability off, be like, "Oh yeah, you decided to do this." You know, that's like you putting a gun to your head and pressing the trigger, and they like, "Well, I'm not the gun." But it's like I say, it's all the deception, coercion. It's happening. Justin Peters, Cindy Martin, Love Jones, Shar Denise, King Romeo, and Penny again. But yeah, I'm probably about to get off this thing. I know I've been on this long, and I know I don't want to keep make it too long. You know, I want people at least watch through and get some of this knowledge in. But like I said earlier, I'm gonna start coming on here more often, at least once a week. But I'm gonna try to loop through 3 times a week. You know what I'm saying? Even if it might not be as long, if I don't come online as long like this. You know, well, I've been like an hour and a half, an hour 15, something like that. Don't even kind of long, but I'm gonna start coming back on here. You say my take on the reset and 10 days of dark. Oh, I got a little take on that. I'll hop on next time I hop on. I'll probably touch on that a little bit. I really want to learn how to start putting some visuals in the background, but you know that's a whole nother story. Like I said, I might have to figure that out one day, or somebody got to actually show me. I'm trying to figure it out since the last time because I tried to do something on YouTube like that, but that shit went horrible. I ain't the most computer savvy guy, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna hop back on here soon. Like I say, I'm try 3 times a week, but at least one definitely. You feel me? Also check me out on YouTube too. I'm hop on there also because I'm including those two as I'm going live. But y'all already know how I keep it. Y'all be gods. Peace.